7 signs you're entering the best phase of your life. Have you ever felt like your whole world was turning upside down, but you couldn't quite explain why? Like something deep inside you is shifting, quietly, subtly, while everything on the outside seems chaotic, messy, and meaningless. If that sounds familiar, take a deep breath. You're not alone. And no, you're not imagining things. There's something ancient, something instinctive within you, guiding you to this very moment, to this very video. You didn't click here by accident, and I promise you, by the time this video ends, you'll begin to see more clearly what's really happening inside you. Sometimes we feel lost or disconnected, like life is falling apart piece by piece. But what if that chaos isn't the end? What if it's actually the beginning, the first spark of your awakening into a stronger, more authentic version of yourself? Today, inspired by the deep insights of Carl Jung and the raw truths of inner transformation, we're going to explore 7 signs that your life is about to shift into its most powerful, authentic, and transformative phase yet. If even one of these signs resonates with your journey, get ready, because something extraordinary is already in motion. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss fresh insights on personal and spiritual growth. Ready? Let's begin. First sign, questioning everything, the beginning of transformation. Suddenly you look at your life and start asking, is this really what I want? Who am I deep down? Does everything I've believed in still make sense? Your identity, your values, your dreams, things you once accepted without question, now feel shaky, like the ground beneath your feet is shifting. Maybe you look at your job, your choices, even the things that used to define you, and all you feel is emptiness, restlessness, a quiet unease you can't quite explain. But this isn't just confusion. It's your mind breaking free from ideas you inherited, ideas from your family, society, friends, that you never stopped to truly question. It's your soul taking a brave step toward a more conscious, more honest version of yourself. Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, said that this disorientation, this moment of uncertainty, is the first real sign of deep transformation, the kind that changes everything. The life you built on autopilot following what you were told was right no longer fulfills you. That mask you wore, at work, with friends, even in front of the mirror, is starting to crack. And in its place, a powerful, almost sacred curiosity begins to grow. Who am I beneath all these roles I've been playing? What do I truly want, not what I was taught to want? You might even find yourself questioning the small things, why you keep doing something that doesn't make you happy, or why you're on a path that feels safe but completely uninspiring. Yes, these questions can be uncomfortable. They can even be scary. But they're not random. They are seeds planted in your heart, marking the beginning of your growth into something new. Transformation doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It shows up as doubt, but it's filled with possibility. And when you start asking these deeper questions, something powerful, something alive is already moving within you, ready to bloom. Second sign, letting go of the past, making space for the new. Have you noticed that certain things from your past, things that once felt like the center of your world, are starting to lose their grip on you? Those routines you followed without thinking, the places that used to define your story, even relationships that once meant everything, suddenly feel distant. Not physically, but emotionally. There's a quiet detachment happening, and it's so real you can almost feel it. This isn't about turning your back on everything you've lived. It's about outgrowing parts of yourself that no longer fit. At first, this letting go might feel like a shadow of sadness. You may miss the comfort of familiar routines or the security of old habits. Maybe you think about those coffee dates with friends that don't feel the same anymore, or the town where you grew up that suddenly feels too small for your dreams. But beneath that nostalgia is a powerful message from your soul. You're ready for more. You're ready for something bigger. Something that truly aligns with who you're becoming. The past, no matter how meaningful it was, is no longer your home. Holding on to it, clinging to what no longer represents you, only slows your journey toward a more authentic life. This moment isn't about loss, it's about freedom. It's about releasing chains you didn't even realize you were carrying. You're being called into a new reality, one where what truly matters shines brighter than the comfort of the familiar. It's as if your soul is whispering, let it go. It served its purpose. Now it's time to make room for something new. And once you begin loosening those ties, something magical happens. A fresh clarity begins to take root. You realize that letting go isn't abandonment. It's an act of alignment. It's how you create space for a life that's in tune with who you truly are. It's an invitation to live more truthfully and to walk boldly toward a future that resonates with the deepest parts of your heart. Third sign, redefining priorities, searching for what truly matters. As your inner world starts to shift, you begin to realize that the things that used to guide your decisions no longer carry the same weight. Out of nowhere, a question surfaces. What really matters to me? The things that once felt urgent, chasing promotions, seeking recognition, collecting material achievements, start to lose their shine. It's like those goals that once fired you up now feel empty. Like a suit that no longer fits who you're becoming. You're no longer living to meet other people's expectations. Instead, you're drawn to something deeper, more real, something that actually lights a spark in your soul. Maybe you notice that spending hours in endless meetings or chasing social status no longer gives you that sense of purpose. What starts to matter more are the moments that nourish you, a genuine conversation, a quiet space to reflect, or that powerful feeling of living in alignment with your truth. This shift in priorities might feel unsettling at first. Letting go of old ambitions, especially ones shaped by family, friends, or society, can leave you feeling a bit lost, as if you've strayed from the path. But in reality, you're finally stepping off a path that was never truly yours, and starting to walk one that is. Meaning becomes your compass. You begin to care more about experiences that feed your spirit than about trophies meant to impress others. You realize fulfillment isn't about doing what looks right to the outside world, but doing what feels right deep inside. It's like recalibrating your life, choosing more consciously what's worth your time, energy, and heart. And the more you embrace this new sense of purpose, the more your life starts to feel authentic, aligned, and fully yours. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on fresh insights about personal and spiritual growth. Fourth sign, trusting your intuition, the voice of your soul. As you begin to quiet the noise of the outside world, the opinions, the expectations, the daily chaos, something new starts to emerge. A subtle, yet unmistakably clear voice within you begins to speak louder. That's the fourth sign. You're starting to navigate life with deeper intuition. Decisions that once felt like a maze of doubts and second guesses suddenly begin to fall into place. It's not that you magically have all the answers, but something inside you just knows the next step. This voice isn't loud. It doesn't come with fireworks or dramatic revelations. It's more like a calm whisper, steady and deeply personal, guiding you even when logic can't make sense of it. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, once said that intuition is a bridge to truths that reason alone can't reach. Maybe you feel a pull to take a different path, to move to a new city, to walk away from something that no longer serves you. You might not understand the why, but deep down, there's a quiet certainty. It's your soul pointing you in the right direction. Think about it. Maybe it's that feeling of, I don't know why, but I need to do this. Whether it's starting a new course, changing careers, or letting go of someone who drains your energy, that voice is not random. It's your higher self guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. And the more you trust it, the more your outer world begins to align with your inner truth. Things start to fall into place, not because you're forcing them to, but because you're finally listening to your soul. With that clarity comes a powerful urge to grow, to become more of who you truly are. Fifth sign, a hunger for growth. The fire of transformation. There comes a moment when you feel a sense of urgency, like a flame igniting inside you. It's not just a passing thought or a fleeting wish. It's a deep hunger, A burning desire to grow, to evolve, to become a fuller version of who you truly are. That's the fifth sign. You no longer want to stay stuck in the same place. Books that used to gather dust on your shelf suddenly start calling your name. Deep conversations with inspiring people become food for your soul. Even solitude and creativity turn into sacred doors, helping you uncover your true self. Superficial things no longer satisfy you. It's not about collecting information or trying to impress anyone with what you know. It's about transformation, about feeling life pulse through you in a deeper, more meaningful way. Maybe you start seeking new experiences, a course that pushes you, a trip that takes you out of your comfort zone, or even quiet moments of introspection that help you see what truly matters. This hunger makes you restless around anything stagnant, anything that keeps you from moving forward. You begin to gravitate toward people who challenge your thinking, who push you to dream bigger. What used to be enough, a predictable routine, shallow conversations, now feels too small for the life you want to live. You're no longer waiting for growth to find you. You're chasing it with purpose, with courage, almost like it's a mission. It's as if your soul is whispering, "You are meant for more. It's time to expand, time to live deeper, time to become who you really are." And as you say yes to that journey, you begin to notice some things in your life just aren't keeping up. And that leads you to the next step. Sixth sign, releasing toxicity, choosing peace. As you grow and align with the person you're becoming, something shifts. You can no longer tolerate energy that drags you down. That's the sixth sign. Relationships, habits, or environments that once felt normal, even comfortable, now feel heavy, even unbearable. What used to be a mild annoyance, a draining conversation, an uncomfortable space, a routine that leaves you exhausted, now hits differently. You can't ignore it anymore. And instead of forcing yourself to endure it, you start choosing peace. Letting go of these things isn't easy. Sometimes it feels disloyal, especially when it involves people or places tied to your past. A longtime friend, a space that once felt like home. You might feel a heaviness in your heart, a moment of doubt. Am I being selfish? But deep down, you know, holding on to what weighs you down keeps you from flying. This is a moment to honor your evolution, to protect the energy that's guiding you toward something more real, more aligned. It's not about cutting people off in anger or walking away in resentment. It's about choosing, with clarity, where you place your time, your energy, your heart. Maybe you notice certain conversations leave you drained. Maybe your job is slowly dimming your light, and for the first time, you give yourself permission to say, "I deserve more. I deserve spaces that nourish me, that help me grow." And when you start making those choices, something powerful begins to happen. You create space for a lighter, more authentic version of yourself to rise. Seventh sign, rebirth of the old self. The journey to authenticity. As your inner transformation deepens, something powerful begins to surface, something far beyond changes in your habits or relationships. It's a quiet, yet undeniable disconnection from the person you used to be. This is the seventh and most intense sign. The life you once built, based on who you thought you had to be, no longer feels like it belongs to you. It's not that you've lost your way. It's that your soul has outgrown the space it used to fit into, and that space in between who you were and who you're becoming, can feel lonely, like you're floating in the unknown, unsure where you're headed. Maybe you look back at your past decisions and realize the person who made them doesn't feel like you anymore. But here's the truth. That empty space isn't something to fear. It's sacred, like a cocoon. You're not falling apart. You're being reshaped into something real. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the integration of your true self. It's when the false self, shaped by outside expectations, begins to dissolve, and the authentic self starts to emerge. You're not lost. You're aligning, shedding the layers that were never really yours. letting go of roles you played just to be accepted, beliefs you never chose, dreams that never belonged to you. It's like clearing out the clutter in your soul to make room for a life rooted in truth, not performance. And as you start living from that place of truth, your entire world begins to shift. Life starts mirroring back who you really are. Opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your essence begin to show up, not by accident, but because you're finally vibrating in sync with who you're meant to be. You're not falling apart, you're falling into alignment. If any of these signs are resonating with you right now, trust this. You're not at the end of something. You're standing on the edge of something incredible. This isn't the breakdown, it's the breakthrough. What looks like chaos is actually clarity being born. You're not falling apart, you're finally falling into place. Even if the answers aren't clear yet, there's a part of you that knows. You're ready for what's next. So keep your heart open, stay anchored in your truth, and remember, the most powerful version of your life doesn't come from controlling the future. It comes from trusting the transformation already happening inside you. If this message touched something deep inside you, drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who might need to hear it too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. This channel is a space for those who are ready to go deeper into the mind, the soul, and the self. We're not here for surface-level content. We're here to awaken. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any insights on personal and spiritual growth. You're exactly where you need to be.